Welcome back. In this video, you are going to learn how to multiply two binomials together using what's called the box method. Now, there's lots of ways that you can multiply these. We're choosing to use the box method because we think it keeps you organized and it kind of eliminates some of the smaller mistakes. So by all means, if you find some shortcuts to it, please go ahead and do that. But what we're going to show you here is something called the box method. So let's get started with that. First example says multiply the following binomials using the box method. So x plus 7, this is a binomial. Remember, bi means two. There are two terms in here, an x and a plus 7. This is also a binomial, x plus 4. There's an x and a 4. There are two terms there. So we're going to be multiplying these binomials together. And in order to do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that first binomial, x plus 7, and I'm going to put each term going down the side of these boxes. So I'm going to have an x here, and then I'm going to put a plus 7 on the side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this x plus 4. I'm going to write that one going across the top. So the first term is the x, and the second term is the plus 4. And now what we're going to do is we're going to multiply each of these boxes together, or each of the terms together, to fill in the boxes. And then we'll combine like terms at the end. So let's start with this one right here. This is taking x times x. So x times x is x squared. We remember that from the last video. Please don't forget that one. X times x is always x squared. Then we're going to move on to this top box, top right box, where we take x times a plus 4. So x times 4 is just 4x. A positive 4 times x, 4x. Let's fill in this one down here by multiplying the 7 and the x. So if I take 7 times x, it becomes 7x. And for this last one here, we're multiplying a positive 7 times a positive 4, and 7 times 4 gives you a 28. So we've completed all these boxes. Now you'll notice 4x and 7x, they can combine together since they're like terms. When you combine together, you're just adding them together, and we will end up with an x squared plus 11x, because 7x plus 4x combine to be 11x, and plus 28. And this is your final simplified answer. One thing I do want to point out, when you are combining like terms, the exponents stay the same. So 7x and 4x just becomes 11x. You don't add the exponents in that case. So when you're adding and subtracting, keep the variables the same. When you're multiplying, that's when you add the exponents together. But this is your final simplified answer. Let's go ahead and do one more together. We have x minus 12 times x plus 2. So down the left side, we're going to have x minus 12. And going across the top, we have x plus 2. Now let's fill in the boxes by multiplying. X times x is x squared. X times a positive 2 is 2x. Negative 12 times x is a negative 12x. And negative 12 times positive 2 is a minus 24. And once again, we are going to combine these like terms. They're both just x's, so we're going to combine them together. And when we do that, we have the x squared by itself. 2x minus 12x, if you combine those together, becomes a minus 10x. And then at the end, we have minus 24. And there's your final simplified answer. So go ahead and pause the video. Try a couple of these out on your own. Hopefully it makes a little bit of sense. And when you're all set, come on back and we'll add some coefficients in front of the x. All right, hopefully you're having a little fun with this. For those of you that are into biology, these are very similar to Punnett squares. So you might have seen some boxes like this in Punnett squares. And if you haven't yet, you probably will. All right, next set of examples. Multiply the following binomials using, once again, the box method. But now instead of just x, we've thrown some numbers in front of the x. So across the left side, we're going to put 4x minus 3. And across the top, we will put 2x minus 10. Now you might be asking, do I have to put them on the side and on the top? You can actually put them wherever you want. You get the same answer. We're just doing this for consistency. So let's fill out this top left portion of the box. 4x times 2x. 4 times 2 is 8. X times x is x squared. So it becomes 8x squared. Moving over to the next one, 4x times a negative 10. 4 times negative 10 is a minus 40. So this would become minus 40x. And on the bottom left, a negative 3 times 2x gives you negative 6x. And in the bottom right, this is sometimes the one that we'd mess up on. A negative 3 times a negative 10, if you multiply two negatives, it makes it a positive. So this is going to be a plus 30. You don't have to write the plus right now. I just do for fun. Now what we have to do is combine the like terms if there are any. And I do see some like terms here. So we're going to keep our 8x squared by itself. Now if I combine a minus 40x with a minus 6x, you might be thinking to yourself, well, two negatives makes a positive. No, that's only when you're multiplying. We're adding these together right now. So if you add two negatives and you combine two negatives, you get a bigger negative number, which in this case is minus 46x. And then we still have plus 30. So when you're multiplying and dividing, that's when two negatives makes a positive. If you're combining two negatives, it just makes it a bigger negative number. All right, one more together. On the left side, we're going to throw the 2x plus 9 down there. And across the top, we will have x minus 11. And we're going to take 2x times x, and that gives us 2x squared. Then we're going to take 2x times negative 11. That's a minus 22x. Then we have a 9 times x. That's just a 9x. And a positive 9 times a minus 11 gives you minus 99. Then we're going to see these like terms together. The like terms won't always be there. We'll see some examples in future videos where they don't always line up perfectly and you might have to find the like terms. But for now, that diagonal gives you the like terms. So we start with 2x squared. Now if I combine a negative 22x plus 9x, it becomes a minus 13x. And then just minus 99. And there is your final simplified answer. You've got a couple more to do on your own. Your password for this week, or at least for this assignment, is gritty. Gritty. Couple definitions of this one. It could mean like a really gutsy or courageous performance, being really gritty. A lot of times it's used in sports. Or it's also a dance. So for those of you that know how to do the gritty, go ahead and just go do your gritty on your own. You're not going to see me do the gritty, sorry. But you've got a couple of them to do on your own. When you are all done, go ahead and submit your answers to Schoology and see how you did. And that is it for multiplying binomials.